what we did is we said in our advertising that we would educate our therapists so that they would be eligible for sitting the state boards. But our emphasis would be on orthopedics, including manual and manipulative therapy. And we had a good reputation around the country by teaching continuing education. When our graduates of those continuing ed courses saw that, they recommended our school to people because they knew our quality and they knew that we meant what we were going to do. So we did very well. We had 3 or 4 applicants to every slot in our first year. So it wasn't too long before we took 3 classes a year. And it wasn't too long before we opened in San Diego. We were invited to come out there by the people in the Southern California chapter of physical therapy. They wanted a school there. So, we made a difference.
So was that your distinguishing factor? Is slowly focusing on manual therapy?
Yes.
Because we're 60 years later, almost 50 years, 40, 50 years. Today, again, it's as a general, stereotype, it still seems like physical therapists, generalizing, shy away from manual therapy.
Well, yes, there's something that's happening that doesn't make me particularly happy. When we first started teaching manual manipulative therapy on a continuing educational program, and then at the master's level in one school in Atlanta, Georgia, there was an excitement about it because it was new to physical therapy. Physical therapists weren't doing it. And the physical therapy profession as a whole, and the educators as a whole, they were opposed to it. It was too close to chiropractic, which, as you know, at one time had some theories about vertebrae being out of alignment causing all human disease, and all you have to do is to put the vertebrae back into place. Well, most of them no longer subscribe to that. But that created resentment to the medical profession. Our schools are controlled by medicine in those days, so manipulation was not something we did. We started at the very beginning. Mary McMillan, the founder of physical therapy, defined manipulation as part of our practice. But then the rise of chiropractic, the medical wars with chiropractic meant that it was taken out of our domain. So my role was bringing it back into physical therapy. And others, of course, help with that. So there was an excitement. But eventually, we won the profession over. We showed that it was effective. The researchers showed it. So now it's mandated that it must be taught to all physical therapists in their training. So who's teaching this? Well, these are academics, by and large, who lack everyday hands-on clinical experience. They are not skilled. There'll be the occasional one, but most of them are not skilled, and they're having to teach manual and manipulative therapy, whereas they'd rather teach exercise science. And so they're dumbing it down so it's not important and if they do teach it, they're not inspiring. They're not able to show the skill or the examination that goes into the patient before you do the skill. They're not able to speak about the rationale with the depth that's needed to instill in the students that this is a very worthwhile practice, but it's going to take a lot of work on your part to be good at it, become a master clinician. So yes, it's getting a little bit of a bad rap, but things come and go. I think that tide will turn again, but it might take some time.